here we are back again. So we are continuing our second adventure now with our character Amy in this zombie infested world. And I have just 2 remarks before we start, and then I'll also do a small recap of what happened in the first session and also on the character itself, so we can take it from there. So the 2 remarks, first one is I noticed that I made some mistakes in the first session. So I was doing some level up rolls on my social, which is a D4, and I was expecting getting a roll 4 there to level up, but that's not correct. So I could also level up with the roll 3, which I did a few times. So yeah, I'll assume I didn't level up, so I'll continue with the D4, but there was a small mistake there. And also I used 1 water bottle that I had to cover the window when I was at the game shop, so that means I just have 1 left, not 2 as I mentioned. Yeah, but I think that was it. Of course, I forgot a few times to count the XP, but that will happen even today, I guarantee. But the idea is to have fun and not to be so focused on the rules and whatever leveling up system. So if you're having fun, that's it. That's what matters. Yeah, and the second remark is I noticed also that the sound quality was not very nice, so I used my phone to record my voice, and I noticed that there were many times where my breath was also making noise there. So I'll update my setup here. I have a condenser mic connected to an audio interface, which I also use for my music production. So I do some singing here, and it's not a very expensive setup, but of course I hope it's much better than the previous one. And one little trivia here is that actually I'm using a full open source and free software arrangement. So I'm currently recording this in Audacity, and I'm editing the videos in OpenShot. So both of them are free and open source. And I'm actually using a ThinkPad with Manjaro installed, which is a Notch Linux based. So everything here is free and open source, so there's nothing really that costs to start recording any content to YouTube. So yeah, just a little factoid for you guys. Okay, then we do a little recap and we start our session. So I'll just go over the character once more. So the character has as positive traits. She's athletic, she's a fast learner, and she's good with the DIY projects, mostly electronics. And her bad trait is that she's not very good at crowds. So she's a bit shy and she cannot handle a big group. And her goal is to get back with nature, so she would like to live in a cabin out in the woods. And and she works at IT, so there is a bit of conflict of her current life and her goal. And her skills are now a physical D10 because we level up in the first session. A social is still a D4, so as I mentioned, I could have a level up before because I got some rolls at 3, but I'll assume that was not true. So let's continue with the D4 on social. We have a mental D6 and a special D6, and I haven't tried to level up mental or special, so they are still the regional levels. And items, we found a shotgun, a 44 Magnum revolver, some bullets. Food wise, we have 1 bottle of water left, 2 cans of food, and the other items are a rope, a multi-tool, a holster, which is the revolver holster, and it has some bullets on it too, and the backpack that we start. And there's also a laptop, which we don't know if we can use for anything, but it's there. So since she's working IT, I'm assuming she just came out of work and then the world went to hell. So she just got when the event started. And I think that was it. So a little fact we have is that she found out that there were some UFO sites in a military facility out of town. So this she found out on a magazine in the game shop. And a little recap was we started in the middle of the street. There were zombies coming after her. She was running already. She was tired, and then she went towards the gun shop. There, we were able to crack the glass, go in, find a couple of guns. And when things went south, she left the gun shop when the zombies were approaching. And we tried to find a car. So there was a car there with the key in the ignition, but it didn't work. So we found a few items in the trunk, and then we escape again. And we found a bit of a safe house in this game shop, which had the door open. And there we actually found another guy there. So inside this shop, there was a guy hiding in one of the rooms, and we almost shot each other. But in the end, I was able to calm him down with some food. So he was starving. There was no food in the shop, and we were able to get together, and then we left the game shop since the zombies heard the shots there, and then they were trying to crack the front door and the glass there. So we tried to find another exit. There was no way that we could go through the door again. And the idea now is that we are outside. So there was a back door, and we are like in this patio, this kind of backyard there where the other buildings connect. And there's a fence, not a very tall fence, that blocks the exit to the street. So the back street where we came from. And that's where we stopped the last adventure. Yeah, so what I'll do, I'll just pull out the guides here, so to help us with the adventure. But otherwise, we don't need to look too much into these guidelines. I just might need to try this improv roll, but otherwise, yeah. Yeah, so I think I mentioned that there were two doors to the other stores there. I don't know what stores they are, so I just see the back door, and I don't see any kind of indication of what type of store they are. So it's just a plain white wall with the metal doors. So what I'll do, I'll try to open the first door, the one that's closest to the one I just came out from. And I see that my companion is just standing there. I think he's also waiting to see what I decided to do. So I will roll on a luck, and I'll say if we have a 4 or higher, then we are able to open this first door. If not, then the door is locked. So let me roll. And let's see. I got a 1. So the door is locked. Okay, then I'll try the second door and the same roll. So if I got a 4 or higher, then the door is open. I got a 4. Okay, so the second door is actually open, and then I'll roll on my improv table here to see what is there. I got a 6, so the past catches up with you. So that means in this door there's something that reminds me of my past, and I think this door should open to a computer shop, since I've been working in IT, and I think that's something I don't want to do anymore, since my goal is to be more connected with nature. So I would say that I'm back to the place I started. So since I just left the work and the world went crazy, I went around in a gun store, and now I'm back to a computer shop. So I see a lot of computers hanging there. So there are some computers with the screen turned on, since the event just happened. So it's not like a complete disaster yet. So some shops are still relatively okay, so there's nothing really broken there. So there are some computers showing some videos, some with the gameplay just rolling, and some with the AI running. So some models being trained. And I'm assuming she's also knowledge with AI, so she looks at those models and she's able to judge how good they are and how good is this machine to run those models. So I'll roll on a lucky roll because I don't know how I feel about this. So I don't know if this might make me a bit depressed, or it might make me just I don't know. I don't know how I feel about this. So I would say if I roll a 1 to 3, that means she gets affected by it. So she feels like she doesn't have any escape, and maybe she doesn't belong in this new crazy world. And if I roll higher, she will feel motivated to say, I'm done with this, I want to go for the next challenge. Okay, so I'll roll a d6. If I get 1 to 3, she gets a bit depressed. If not, then she gets motivated. So I got 3. That means she got affected by it. So she started to think that this might be it, that she might not be cut to be anywhere else beside around computers. So I'll say I will add a negative modifier there on mental, and I'll say I add a -1. So a -1 on mental rolls because she's a bit affected by this. Okay, so I believe I'll also roll on a mental now, because there are only computers here and there's seem to be nothing really useful in the shop, but might be something hidden in there, and I don't know. So I'll roll on a lucky roll, and I need a 4 to be able to find something, so let's try it out. I got a 4. So I'll say I found something for useful there. So I found a rangefinder, which I can combine with my guns. So it is a little accessory that I can just find the range. So I point it out, I look through it, and I can see how far the target is. So it might be useful to know how far the zombies are. So I'll add it here on my items, range finder. So I'll keep this accessory on my backpack, so I don't think I needed a hand, so it might be useful in another situation, but not indoors like right now. Okay, so we checked the first door that was locked, and now we are in the computer shop, and I look around and I see that the computer shop is also facing the same street. So the front door is facing the same street that we came from in the game shop. So I think there's no way to escape from there, because it's crowded with zombies, because they follow the gunshots. So what I think we have to do is to try the other door, maybe to see if there's something interesting in that store. But since the door was locked, I have to do something. So maybe I'll try to use my multi-tool to unlock it. So I'm assuming this multi-tool is something like a Leatherman. It's nothing specific for pick locking, but it could be used somehow if you know what you're doing, which is not her case because she doesn't know about that. And I think this one will require a mentor to know how to use this to open the door. So I'll roll my d6, and I realize I forgot to count the experience again. Come on. So how many successful rolls? I think I had 2. I probably had 2. And I had 3 experience from the previous session. So let's say I have a 5 now. And again, the idea is to have fun, so not to be too crazy about it. It would be nice if I could level up or some of my dice here. So I have a 5, so that means I cannot level up my mental yet. So I'll have to roll with the -1 from the event that just happened there with the computer shop, and I think I'll have to roll a disadvantage as well because she doesn't know how to use the multi-tool to open doors. And yeah, so I'll say I need a 4 for this. I think I need at least a 4. So I'll have to roll twice. I'll pick the lowest value and then I'll add a -1. So I subtract 1 there from the negative modifier. Okay, so first roll, a 6. Okay, second roll, a 4. So I pick a 4 and then I do a -1, I get a 3. So I'm not able to open the door. So it was not successful. So I think I'll have to talk to this guy to try to get some ideas there. So I don't even know his name. So I believe we can try to get a social. So I have 5 XP, so that means I can try a social roll. And now I'll remember that I can get a social level up by getting a 3 or a 4. So it's not just 4 that levels up. So I will use my XP and I'll try to level up now social. And I got a 1. So that means I lost 1 XP. I'm down to 4. And I'll roll once more. Let's see if I can get... I got a 1 again. Okay. So that means I'm down to 3 XP. So I cannot roll anymore. And by the way, I'm using another dice. So I'm using currently a D12 to count my XP. So it's a bit helpful. So I don't need to write it down and raise all the time. Okay, so I cannot do anything level up wise, so I'll just roll this D4 to talk to this guy. And I think I'll add a positive modifier here that we had before because he is actually happy with the food. So I'll add a +1 for now. And I think this will wear off soon, since he just ate, so he's happy. But if time goes by, he will not. I mean, he'll forget about this food and he'll get hungry again. So I think I need at least a 3 to get some conversation going. So that means I need to get a 2 to be able to get something out of him. So let me try it out. I got a 3. So it was a success. I get 1 XP. And yeah, so I'll try to check with him. So what is your name, by the way? My name is Jake. Okay, so we learned that his name is Jake. I can write it down. So how did you end up in the game shop, Jake? What were you doing? I was just running from the zombies. I didn't know where to go. There was the only shop with the door open. And then I just tried to hide in there. I don't even know what is going on here. I just came to town to visit my brother, and then suddenly all these crazy people started to to eat each other. And my car broke down. I just left in the street. And now we realize that the car that was in the street that we found was his car. So we can also add as a fact. And that might help us somehow. So let's say if it's for some reason he had some valuable item there or something sentimental, we might propose that we can fetch for him, and that also could help us in our relationship. Okay. Maybe I try to figure out what gun he has, or maybe what kind of item he has. So, and where did you find this gun, Jake? This is my gun. I always have it, so I have it carrying on my car. So I just took it and I run away once the car broke out. So what do you do, Jake, normally? So what is your day work? I'm a salesman. I work in phone sales. So I just keep this gun on my glove box if needed. But I'm not really, to be honest, I think I shot it twice, probably. Once when I bought it and with my brother. He's quite fond of guns, but since we are not living close, it's been a long time since I've seen him. So I think we can add here that he talks a lot about his brother. So it might be important for him. So he might want to find his brother anyway, even with these zombies around. Okay, so maybe I try to check with him if he has a plan. So I'll roll again on a social, but now I have 4 XP, so I'll try to level up the social before this. I got the 4 finally. Okay, so we go down to 0 XP and I get a D6 now for social. So I'll update here. So nice. Now we have a D10 on physical, D6 on social, D6 on mental, and then D6 on special. Yeah, very good. So now we can do a bit more actually, since we can get a 6, and it's much easier to get higher than 3 or yeah. So I think now we could do more things. Yeah, so I'll ask him if he has a plan, and I believe I need to convince him a little bit, or maybe I need to roll on this social that he's actually open to say his plan, because the fact that he keeps talking about his brother, probably he has already a plan, but might not fit to my plan, or he might be afraid to say what he really wants to do. So I'll roll a social here, and I think I need a 4 for him to say exactly what he's thinking about. So let's try. I got a 4, so I have my XP to 1, and then I can find out what he really thinks and what he was really planning. So Jake, what is your idea here? What should we do? Do you have a plan of where we should go? I need to find my brother. He doesn't live so far from here. Actually, I was almost there when my car broke down. I think it's 2 blocks. If we follow in this direction. And now Jake is pointing to the gate, so the opposite way of the street where we came from the game store. So and there'll be, so the gun shop, which is in the same street as the game store, was westbound, so we are following west. So that means that this the direction he's pointing is actually north. And then I ask him, so, but do you know if your brother is even alive? I need to find out. How can I know? I need to look for him first. Yeah, so I think this confirms the suspicion that he's just looking for his brother. But maybe I can try to figure out if his brother has some kind of advantage there. Maybe he's a prepper, or maybe he has some kind of information. Maybe he works at the government, or maybe he's in the military. I don't know. So I'll roll on a social again, and let's go with the 4. And by the way, I forgot to add a +1 modifier here because of the food. So socials with Jake will get a +1. So I can succeed with a 3. Okay, let's try. I got a 4, so I succeeded the roll. I got 1 XP. And then I can ask. So Jake, what is your brother? What does your brother do? My brother works at home. So he is very secretive with his work, but I know he works with some agency. He cannot say which agency it is, but he works remote and mostly on his computer. So he does a lot of this cryptographic job. So it seems Jake doesn't really know, and it doesn't seem that his brother is in the military, or if he is, he's not the kind that we are looking for. So we don't have anything to be hacked, or any database to protect here. So maybe I try to figure out if he has some kind of a bunker or some place to hide. And I'll try to roll again the same story. So I need a 4, and I got 1 +1. I got a 5. So Jake, does your brother have a fenced house, or he has some kind of a shelter for us? Yes, he's a prepper. He's been crazy on these YouTube videos with prepping stuff. And he actually built a underground bunker with a container. And I believe he filled with the food for 20 years. Okay. So we can write it down as well. So Jake's brother has a bunker. And it's 2 blocks to the north. So I don't know how Jake will behave. So it might be that he tried to betray us, or it might be that he becomes aggressive. So we need to remember this information. It might be that his brother is also dead and the place is crawling zombies. It might be that he gets emotional when he gets there. So who knows? So I think it's good to know the information, and then we can play with that afterwards. Okay, so we need to do something about this fence then, if we are going that way. Can you jump this fence, Jake? I'm not sure. Maybe if you can bump me, I can try to jump. Okay, then let me try. But maybe I should jump first, since I'm lighter. Maybe I can carry you when I'm on the top of the fence. I can try to push you up. And then now I'll try to roll a social, because Jake doesn't want me to go first, and I don't want to go second, because it might be that he just leaves me there. So I think I'll try to do the same as before, a 4. So he feels like I can go first. I got a 6. So that means he agrees that I can go first. So he would bump me up, and I'll just hold into the fence, and I'll try to catch him from there. So just hold his hand and try to pull it up. And then he bumps me up. I can go up in the fence. That was very easy. So I'll not even do a physical roll, since I'm athletic already, and I got a bump from him. But I'll have to roll in a physical here because he's heavier than me. So he's not overweight, but he's a relatively tall man. So I'll try to get at least a 6 here on my D10. Since I need to pull him with the one arm, I'm holding the fence with the other arm and I'm trying to pull him. So I have no modifiers here, so that means I have a D10, I need to get a 6. And I got a 10. Okay, so I was able to pull him up. I had 1 XP here, so I was able to pull him up and we both jump to the other side of the fence. And now we look around and we don't see many zombies on this side of the street, so they seem to be concentrated on the other street that we came from. And we see that the other side, so crossing the street, there are some houses, so it seems to be a residential area going north. And we need to think how to reach there. So he pointed that his brother houses was exactly to the north, so that means we can choose to try to go through the houses or go around the block and then come back. And here I'll just roll a d6. So if I get 1, 2, 3, I'll try to go through the houses. If I get 4 to 6, then we'll try to go around the block. 2, so that means we go through the houses. And just to clarify this roll is not an XP roll, so I'm just trying to put some randomness here in the story, and that you can do at any time, but I'm not leveling up, so it's just to kind of decide what is the next step. Yeah, so we go through the houses. So I see that there's a big house just in front of this gate, and it's a 2-story house with a big garage, a picket fence with some trees, and it has kind of a yellowish paint on it with the white windows and door, and it looks a very nice house, so it's well taken care of. There's not much ongoing there, so I'm assuming this event started today or maybe yesterday, so that means there was no time for the plants to take over yet, and there were not many bloodbaths ongoing, so this event is developing right now. So that means the house just looks normal. So in this side of the street, it doesn't seem even that there is a full infested town. So yeah, so then I approach the house port, and also I'm assuming that this is just after work hours, so maybe like 5 p.m. And since it's fall, I'm assuming it's end of October, beginning of November. So that means it's starting to get dark. So I can see the sunset. And yeah, so this is where we are right now. So I'll try to see if the door is open. And Jake is just by me, so we are just going together right now. So I'll roll on a luck roll, and I'm assuming I need a 3 at least here, so the door is open. Because let's say when this event happened, I'm assuming people just ran away, so they didn't think about locking the door. So I think it'll be a bit easier to assume that the door is open. So I need a 3 out of a d6. I got a 4. And I have a -1 mental because mental, but I don't have anything special. So yeah, so I got the 4. So that means the door was open, and I can roll on improv again to see what is inside this house. So we can try that. 3. The environment changes dramatically. So maybe this house has something special on it. So it looks very calm from outside, but once I open the door, it seems that the whole family that was there was actually turned to zombies, and they are actually running towards me. So they are not very fast, they are the slow zombie kind, but they are actually really trying to reach me there. So I can see the whole family, so the parents, mom and dad, and 2 kids, and they are all zombies. And it seems that they haven't hit each other, because it seems that maybe the mom was the first one to die because she's very clean. But I see that the other people are actually beaten off, so there are bite marks on their face, blood is dripping over, so it was very recent. And it's not a very good scene to look at. And they are coming over, and I try to take my gun here. So I ask Jake, shoot, and then I'll roll on a social to see if Jake's listen. And I think this will be my last +1 social roll with the Jake, because it's been already some time that he ate, and maybe he doesn't care anymore. So I'm assuming I need a 5 here, since Jake said he never shot his gun, maybe shot it once or twice. So he'll be completely frozen if that's the case. So I'm assuming I need a 5. I got a 3 + 1, 4. So he just freezes. So he doesn't shoot. So he's at the door. His gun is on his hand, but he's not even pointing the gun to the zombies. So what I'll try to take this matter on my hands. So I'll have to roll 2 rolls here. One's mental, because I'm also not a professional shooter, so I might just freeze as well. And I have a -1 on mental, so I'm assuming I need a little bit less than Jake, because I already have shot a zombie before, so maybe I'm a bit more prepared. So I'll say I need a 4. And I got a 2, so -1. Yeah, that's a total fail. So I don't even need to roll the physical, because she just froze. So we are both frozen there. The zombies are approaching. And yeah, what should I do now? So I think I have to roll again on a mental to say I need to escape here at least. And I'll say that escaping is easier than shooting. So I say that I need a 3 on a mental at least, to say that I was able to run away. I got a 5, okay. Yeah, so -1, 4. And again, I forgot to count my XP, but yeah, let's go back. So I got 6 of XP now. So I got a 4. So that means I was able to turn around and run. And I escaped the house, and now I'll roll on a lucky roll, because there's nothing I can really do to pull Jake from there, or to say that Jake escaped as well. So I'll say the same story. So if I get a 3, that means Jake was able, a 3 or higher, Jake was able to, no, maybe a 4, right? A 4 or higher, that means Jake was able to escape and close the door, and then we came back to the street. If not, then Jake got stuck there and he got beaten. Okay, so I need a 4 or higher. I got a 4. So Jake was able to turn around, run, and close the door on the way back. And as he closes, we hear the zombies just barely missing him. So they just continue banging on the door as he closes. And we are back at the porch. Now I'll add a negative modifier on the physical, because our heart rate is very high from this scare, so we cannot really run too much or try to do very physical things because we cannot catch our breath. Yeah, so we are back to the porch, and now we need to figure out what to do. But I'll stop it here, guys. So I think that was a good development. As you see, it can be very fun to just go around. So we didn't do too much today. We just escaped the fence. We tried one house and we figured out some facts about Jake. Figure out also his name. Yeah, but yeah, stay tuned for the third session then. Yeah, thanks.